Hi, and welcome to another episode by A Wagging Success. With us, as always, is Philip, all the way from the Eastern Cape. Hi, Philip.
Hello, Tisha. So nice to see you again and hear from you. And hope you
Awesome.
are well.
Awesome to be back. Philip, today we are tackling a very controversial topic because most people are afraid of this simple, innocent little item, and we're talking about muzzling your dogs. Now, as humans, we have a very bad stigma around muzzles. We associate a muzzled dog with danger. If a dog is wearing a muzzle, that dog is presumed to be dangerous, aggressive, all of those things. Philip, when should a dog be trained with a muzzle?
Tisha, I like to train any and every dog except the very small breeds, obviously, the toy poms and the Yorkies and all these guys. But your sort of medium-sized dogs and your large breeds, my personal opinion is that they should all be comfortable with a muzzle and be muzzle trained. Many reasons around this. As you say, that a dog muzzle has the stigma attached to it that it's dangerous, aggressive, it's going to bite. Um, I know the police use muzzles for their training on attack work and so on, just so that the poor guy in the suit doesn't get bitten. It does frustrate the dog though if he can't get his jaws into the suit, the monkey suit as we call it. But your standard domestic dog, personally, I feel should be comfortable with the muzzle at all times. And there are a lot of reasons around this. We know that dogs react in the moment. They don't sit and plan something. It happens now. And when it happens now, I need to know that the muzzle is on and that everybody's going to be safe. Now, we must remember that a dog gets into a public space or we're on a walk with a dog, and my dog may get human food at home, which means he's likely to scavenge on the outside. He'll be smelling, and if he picks up the smell of human food, he's going to try and pull you towards that because he wants to get it. And specifically chicken bones. People leave a lot of chicken bones lying around, and we all know how dangerous they are for dogs. So if my dog does scavenge, I like to have a muzzle on him. He must be comfortable because then he can't pick up any human food lying around because we don't know what's been put in that human food. And believe you me, two-step poison, it isn't called two-step for no reason at all. So as a safety measure, but you don't get dog pellets lying around. So if my dog's only eating kibble pellets, the chances of him trying to find human food's a lot slimmer. But my dog will not be able to pick up and eat anything out there. And then if I'm going into a very crowded area and my dog might be nervous, and there's not a 20% or 50% chance that that nervousness might turn into aggression. If there's a 1% chance, I put that muzzle on my dog. Because should things go wrong and it's instantaneous and I lose control, this is my second line of defense.
Mm-hmm.
When the adrenaline kicks in and the obedience is no longer a factor and my dog doesn't listen, I need a second line of defense. And if he gets off the leash or breaks the leash, something goes wrong, and he's on his way, at least I know That's my second line of defense. Whoever's around is going to be safe. There's not going to be any biting done.
So
And that'll
we
stop.
are talking about emergency measures in this situation, and we also need to think about emergency situations. If your dog gets attacked on the beach by another off-leash dog and your dog is seriously hurt, he may become aggressive under those circumstances from pain, and that might cause veterinarians to struggle to treat him. If your dog is already accustomed to a muzzle, it will not add any unnecessary stress to muzzle your dog in that situation, and he can get better care. Correct?
Yeah, but he's then, excuse me, he's then comfortable with the muzzle. And that makes the people around him a lot more comfortable, not nervous and so on. We must remember that when a dog is taken to the vet, even though he visits there often, maybe, which I like to do, coincidentally, take my dog there often so they can interact and get used to the smells, because there's such a variety of smells there, including blood and cats and all sorts of things that'll make my dog nervous. So I like to have a muzzle at hand, or I know I can muzzle my dog when the vet is going to work with him, just in case there's that nick or something, something small, which triggers the dog. And then I know everybody's safe. And normally when you put a muzzle on, the dog knows he can't bite. So if he's used to a muzzle and he's comfortable with it, you'll have a more relaxed dog in that situation. But even in a vehicle, I mean, if you are involved in a vehicle accident and your dog's fine, but you need to tie him up somewhere because other people need assistance. But because of the chaos and everything going on around you, it would be nice if you can tie him up and put a muzzle on him. And your obedience levels are such that if you tell him to stay there, he's going to stay there. Because that is the one time you don't want to worry about my dog, because dogs tend to run away from an accident. Many times we find people saying we were in an accident, the dog got out of the vehicle, the dog's gone. And he's been gone for like 3, 4, 5 days. So one's got to look at all the circumstances, all the possibilities, and then make sure that your dog is comfortable, he's muzzle trained, and everybody's going to be just fine. But don't try and put the muzzle on a dog that hasn't been trained to accept the muzzle, because they'll get out of it and then they'll bite. Then it's going to get out of hand. And you know, a lot of people say that the most dangerous dog is that guy standing at the gate growling at me, and it's saliva and big eyes and everything. That's the guy you can still get control over. But if you've got a nervous dog that becomes nervous aggressive, that is your most dangerous dog. Because to him, it's not about protecting anything. To him, it's about life or death. It's survival. And that's the dog that's going to take you apart. So if your dog shows signs of nervousness, he may not be aggressive now, but in 5 minutes' time, something can trigger him and he is. So if I've got a nervous dog, make sure he's muzzle trained, he's comfortable with the muzzle, and you can take him anywhere. You get a kid that approaches too quickly or something, and things get out of hand, at least you know there's not going to be any tragedies. So vitally important.
Okay, on that very light and relaxed note, not dark and alarming at all, let's talk about some easy ways you can start to introduce the concept of a muzzle to your dog without necessarily going out today and buying a muzzle for your dog. Philip, how can we start getting our dogs used to muzzles with something that we have lying around the house?
So what I do and teach people to do if they've got the smaller breeds, because a Yorkie can give a painful bite, make no mistake. So I teach them to have a small towel, and you can put the towel over the top of the nose, cross it at the bottom, and take it behind the neck, and you can hold it there. The dog can't turn its head to bite you, and it can't bite forward either because it's muzzled. So up to a certain category of dog, you can use this because it's just an easy way to control the dog. So when we go beyond that, then we start with this tail muzzling, and then we'll bring the actual muzzle at a later stage, and obviously make accepting the muzzle a fun little exercise. Don't try and force it onto your dog. You try and force it once and the dog takes a disliking to it, is nervous of it, you're going to have a long, long road ahead. So I actually like to have the muzzle and put the treat or two in there, let the dog take it out. And then gradually I will get the muzzle over his mouth and stuff and just pull it away, put a treat in. Muzzle over, pull it away, put a treat in. So like with leash training, like with anything, it's baby steps, one little step at a time. And once I got the muzzle on there, I don't tie it on immediately. If the dog wants to shake it off, let him shake it off. And then I just start again with the treats and start making it a fun association. Make it nice. And once the dog gets over that initial fear of it, they accept it. It's like a collar. Some dogs have a thing about the collar. So I've already put the collar in the food, next to the food bowl, around the food bowl, just so that they get comfortable with it. I think if we go back to your dog, Tricia, we had a problem in the car.
Yes, a big problem in the car.
Looked like your car had been washed from the inside out.
And that is with saliva if you are lucky. If it's a particularly unlucky day, it was projectile vomit covering the inside of my car. Fantastic.
So, I mean, what we did there was we started feeding the dog next to the car, if I remember correctly, and then putting the bowl inside the car, and the dog used to go and eat inside the car. And then we'd let it eat and drive a meter or two forward or just start the engine. And gradually we got over that. I mean, today, it's no problem.
A couple of years down the line, and that dog still loves the car. She jumps in, no questions asked. She's comfortable as anybody's business. You have seen on our Facebook videos, you will often see her in the background of my car. She loves it. It took us 4 months of getting her 100% used to the car. And that comes back to Philip's point. It's all about baby steps, and it's all about working at your dog's pace. So we had to sometimes go 1 step forward, 2 steps back, and tackle it again. But eventually we got there. We trusted the process.
And it's changing the association. Remember, dogs, 60% of a dog's life is all about perception. So they perceive things in life, and they have associations of things. And if they have a nice association with someone or something, they'll always go back, they'll always operate, they'll always do things. But if they have a bad association, it's almost like taking the dog back to rehabilitation, and you've got to rehabilitate it. And the success rate in humans is 1.7% on rehabilitation. So a dog can be less, maybe a bit more, but it takes a lot of work to change associations. Okay. Story attached, I had people from KZN phone me. They had gotten a new servant in the house, and in the morning when she came, everything would be fine. Then the people would leave for work, and an hour or so later, she would phone them and say, the dog has cornered me in the washing room or in the kitchen or in the bedroom. I can't get out. And it would stand there and growl at her. So I said to them, but somewhere this dog's just got a bad association. Something happened the first time. So let's change the association. So I told them to buy some old dried horse sausage and cut it into small little pieces. And when she comes to work, she mustn't try and feed the dog the stuff. If the dog approaches her, just drop it on the ground. And every time the dog comes close by, just drop a piece on the ground. And 2 weeks later, they phoned me. They said, Philip, damn, that works so well, but we now have another problem. The dog won't leave the maid alone. Wherever she goes, the dog goes. So within 2 weeks, the whole association with this maid had changed. Okay. So going to muzzles, don't make the muzzle a bad association. From square one, make it a nice association. Work slowly, work baby steps. Don't think, I'm going to take the muzzle out today, and an hour later, the dog's going to have the muzzle. So prepare yourself for maybe 2 weeks of gradual work, little bit every day, until it becomes a part of this dog's life, and the dog has a super cool association with the muzzle. And then we know we're safe, people around us are safe, the vets are safe, and yeah, it just makes life a lot easier.
100%. Thank you so much, Philip. So muzzles, that's everything you need to know about them, from why we need them to how can we get our dog used to it. It's not all bad. It's a wonderful safety tool for your dog. So if you feel up to a challenge, go out and muzzle train your dog this month.
At home.
At home. Thank you so much, Philip. For everybody out there, please like and subscribe this video. If you want to follow along, we're going to keep on making dog content, whether people like it or not. So you might as well get free tips and insights and advice on your dog.
Come and learn.
Thank you.
Come and learn and develop your skills. And if you're battling, don't hesitate to make contact with us on our Facebook page. Anytime we can assist.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Philip.
My pleasure. Stay well and goodbye to everybody.